Hi friends, once again I came with your social studies subject, and first of all I would like to invite your attention towards me, and I welcome everyone once again for the online class of the Kerala Public School, Araria, Bihar. So today we are going to deal with the class 8 landmark social studies, and I already explained about three different categories are there. Historical parts are there, then geography, and finally politics. So today we already completed geography one lesson and history one lesson. So today we are going to deal with the politics section. Politics section, maybe that this lesson also nearby 2-3 episodes we will complete total lessons. So I wrote here part 1, maybe lesson 25. I just invite your attention towards the 25. You just open your textbook, lesson 25 from the political sections and the part 1. Lesson name here mentioned that the Indian Constitution and the need for laws. Okay, the Indian Constitution and the need for laws. Today we are going to deal with this particular subject, and we are going to learn so many things which is mentioned in your textbook, and mainly we understand what is the Constitution. You have the idea because you already studied in class 6 and 7, and maybe the classes you understand about the Constitution. And if I am asking to anybody to give the definition about the Constitution, you will give because you learned the previous classes. So now that we are learning something more from the previous classes from this lesson. So the Constitution and the needs for laws. Let me ask one question to you: that is it necessary for a constitution for a country? If it's necessary for laws for a country, if the laws are not available, otherwise the constitutions are not available, what will happen? Anything happen? What's your opinion? Something happen if the constitutions are not available for a country, otherwise the laws are not available for a country. Anything happen for the administrations? Yes. There will be so many problems arise because of if constitutions are, otherwise the laws are not available. Because we already know if rules are not there, so many problems may arise. Because if any countries, if you want to move smoothly without having any problem, without having any difficulties for administrations, they must have the laws, otherwise the constitutions. There will be some rules, then only. If you are driving a car on the road, if roads are not there, what will happen? You know that because we have the idea that maybe every drivers they have to move the road left side, and the people that are pedestrians, those who are walking through the road, they have to walk through the right side. If people are violating that rules and according to their own idea they are walking on the road, then what will happen? There will be so many accidents are there, so many injured, so many people may die because of they are violating the rules. If they don't have any rules, so many problems may arise. Because that purposely government are taken a decision and making the laws that on a particular road, which part the people must walk, the pedestrian, which side they have to move, and the workers, which side they have to move, and where they have to stop. And maybe the 4 different junctions are there, and where they have to stop, when they have to move. There are so many signals they have given, even through the lights, different colored lights they placed, even the junctions. And according to the light only, people will see. If it is red, they have to stop there. If it is green, they have to move. Like that, so many rules they have already given there. Otherwise, there will be so many actions may take place. So, laws are necessary. Otherwise, the constitutions are necessary. Otherwise, people may act according to their own ideas. And there will be so many problems may arise. Because of that, laws are, otherwise the constitutions are very much important. So now we came to a conclusion that constitution is very important. So now we have to get into the lesson, and here we are going to understand about the constitution. And the word constitution comes from the Latin word constitutio, and which refers to regulation and orders. Okay. Here, the constitution, the word derived from another word that is called constitutio, Latin word. This constitution, the word derived from one of the Latin word that's called constitutio. Listen now. The word constitution derived from the Latin word that's called constitutio. And the meaning means, we have to understand that regulation or otherwise and orders. Okay, the constitutio, the Latin word which means regulation and orders. Orders, otherwise the regulations. That's the main meaning of the Latin word, the constitutio, and of the constitutions. Okay, so constitution means one word we can say that's the rules and regulations. Otherwise the regulations and orders. That's the clear meaning about the constitution. I hope that you understand. And the constitution, the word comes from which word? The Latin word constitutio, and also which means regulations or orders. That's the meaning of the constitution. So now let's go ahead. Now we can understand that, and the constitution has a set of fundamental laws and basic principles according to which a state or country governed. So a particular country, a particular nation must be governed with there are some principles, others the regulation on orders. That is just like a set of fundamental laws and basic principles. The constitution included by, there are some fundamental rights and fundamental principles, others basic laws are there which is included in the constitutions. You know that through that only any nation they have to be governed. Any democratic nation they have to be governed by the constitution that includes regulations and orders. And when those principles are put together in a written form, it becomes a written constitution. If the laws are there, they kept maybe the orally, that will be remain oral, constitutionally. That's we are writing and keeping as a document. That's called written documents. Okay, your constitution may become the written documents. Now, a constitution gives the government certain powers, which is also indicating the limits of the power. You know that constitution giving the power for the government, at the same time, that's very clearly mentioned that the limits of the government, because government can go a particular limits. Beyond the limits, they are unable to cross. You understand what I mean? You know that even the constitution also very clearly explained that maybe the government can govern according to the constitution, but for the government also there are some restrictions, there are some limitations are there, and the government, the people those who are governing, they are unable to cross the boundaries, otherwise the limits beyond the constitution, because they have limit also mentioned there. And also, a constitution gives the government certain power, which is also indicating the limits of the power. The constitution gives the basic guidelines for the functioning of the government. You know that constitution giving maybe what they are giving constitution. Constitution gives the basic guidelines, because the government, they are getting the guidelines from the constitution for to govern the their own nation, otherwise the entire country. They are getting the guidelines. And according, they have to follow, the government must follow the guidelines which is mentioned in the constitution. According to that, they are able to govern the people. That's understanding. Now, the Constitution of India is the largest in the world. You know that every nation, every democratic nation, also they have their own constitution. But you know that our constitution, Indian constitution, is the largest. That means that's the largest one in the world. In the world, so many nations they have a constitution. More than that, our constitution is having too much length. That's one is the largest constitution in the world. And we are reading about so many things about the constitution over here. And one thing mentioned here, a constitution gives the government certain powers. And also, here mentioned that the constitution forms a basic guidelines for the functioning of any democracy. And the Constitution of India is the longest in the world. It was passed on the 26th November. You know that this constitution passed. Constitution passed on 26th November. Okay, here you are getting a clear information about that. The Constitution passed on 26th November 1949. Okay, 1949. You listen now. Our Constitution, our India's Constitution passed on 26th November 1949. And it came to an effect on. It came to an effect on 26th January 1950. Okay, so now I am teaching about the Constitution. The Constitution passed on 26th November 1949 and it came to an effect. That is mentioned here 26th January 1950. That's the clear evidences we are getting from the history. And our Constitution declares the Union of India is a sovereign, socialist and secular, democratic republic, assures its citizen of justice, equality and liberty and endeavors to promote fraternity among them all. So, we are getting the clear idea our Constitution provides to all the people equality. And in a nation we are unable to give the particular speciality for a particular ethnic group of people because the Constitution gives every people equality. And also it's a reference that it assures that, giving the assurance that all the citizens, they will get the justice, equality, liberty and endeavors to promote fraternity among all the people. That's a clear idea we are getting through the Constitution, for allowing maybe the equality for all the people and fraternity for that, and there will be justice for all the people. You know that a particular group of people they are getting justice, others are just neglected. The Constitution cannot work according to that because Constitution already written for equality for all the people, for everything, and they have the fundamental right for every people. You know that there are different castes are there in India. There are some high castes are there, the low castes are there, and in the Constitution not only written for the maybe the Constitution rules and regulation for the high caste is something else, and for the low caste for something else, and maybe the justice and peace and everything for the high caste is different, and the lower caste for another thing, another laws are written. Not like that, because for every people that's very clearly mentioned in the Constitution that one laws are there for all the people. So we have to see all the people in a same manner, in a same angle. That purposely mentioned here, the Democratic Republic of India assures that the citizens of the justice, and also equality and liberty and endeavors to promote fraternity. That's very important, to promote the fraternity among them all. So, this is the information. So, now we discuss that the Constitution passed on 26th November 1949 and it came to an effect on 26th January 1950. Okay, this is the information we are getting from this introductory part of this Constitution. Okay, so that Constitution, the Latin word which means that regulations and orders that we understand, and about the Constitution and the definition also we understand now. So now we have to go for the next topic. That's we have mentioned that the importance of laws in our life. Okay. Now we have to learn about the importance of the laws in our life. So, do you think that laws are very important for our lives? You think that you can imagine even as single, your own family, husband, wife, two children are there. There will be one rules are there. And for the husband there are some rules. For the wife there also rules are there. For the children, they are never to just to cross the boundaries of their own laws, their own limits. Then there will be a problem. If they are not going according to the law, that family cannot work properly. They are unable to go ahead with peaceful mentality. Because that small family also needs, there will be laws. And you know that, one particular group of people, others a joint family, they also need the laws for their own livelihood. If they want to live peacefully, they must have some laws. Then think about our states. Even a state, different type of ethnic group of people are there, different religious people are there, and you know that every people, and they are moving, they are acting according to their own ideas, then there will be so many problems are there. That purpose only, our Constitution provides equal laws for every people. So everyone must follow the laws. Then only the state can go ahead smoothly. Otherwise, there also will have so many problems. So then think about the total India. So many states together, they are working together. There will be a central government, there will be a state government, there will be a panchayat, otherwise maybe the municipalities are there. So these all are people working together for the smooth running of a country. For the India, these three realms are there. These people working together to develop our country, to go ahead our country, and to solve all the problems of the country. So three different levels of the governments are there. So if laws are not available, the people will react, people will act according to their own ideas, their own ideologies they will use, then there will be so many problems. So there must be some laws. So now we are learning about the importance of the laws in our life. Otherwise, in the importance of the life in our lives. So laws are very important in our life. So we will deal and we will give a few more examples from this part, and listen carefully. We all need rules and regulations in our lives, and there are no laws in rich and the powerful would dominate society. Laws are essential as they ensure a safe and fair environment. If we want to live in a safe and fair environment, we must have the laws. That's a very clear information. If you want to live in fair environment, otherwise if you want to live, ensure the safe environment, we must have the laws. And laws ensures that those violations do not go unpunished. If laws are there, those who are violating the rules, violating the laws, and they will be punished. Then the other people will see that one, then they also will not violate any rules of the constitutions. So, Constitution provides the laws for all the people, the rules and regulations for all the people, everyone must follow. So, the importance of the laws, we understand that for a smooth running of any nation, any family, any states, any nations, we can understand that we must need the maybe laws and in our life. Then only we are able to move without having any problem. Then only we have maybe the very good environment, fair environment to live. So anybody is violating the rules, they will be punished according to the constitutions. Now we have to already understood that laws are very essential. So laws are important. Now we came to understand. Now another point, one of the case study mentioned about the dowry. Okay. Case study. Dowry. Okay. The following case study will help you to understand the importance of the laws. Maybe mainly when we are learning about some understanding about the dowry, this system, this practice, then we will get the importance of the laws. So, what do you mean by dowry? You have some information about, because you are studying in standard 8 right now. So, you understand about the dowry system. In India, different states, the people are practicing the dowry system. And I will give information about this dowry system. What is dowry? I will explain. Then listen, you know that dowry is, what is dowry? You have maybe the definition in your mind right now, but we are online classes, you are unable to reply to my questions, but you know about the dowry. Then also I will explain. A dowry refers to gift, money and other material goods that are given by a bride's family to the groom at the time of marriage. Okay, this is a simple definition for the dowry, because it's a refers to gift. Dowry, it refers as gift. Okay, dowry refers just like the gift, or maybe the bride's family giving to the bridegroom family when the marriage was taken place. Okay, here mentioned that dowry refers as gift, money and other material. Maybe as you know that people are maybe in the marriage taken by sometimes my bride, they will say that we will give 10 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees, 50 lakhs of rupees. That's the cash also there. And sometimes they will say that money will provide, maybe the gold will be there, or maybe car, maybe bike, and also land. Okay, so many examples for that. As a dowry, the bride's family given to the bridegroom as money. Maybe sometimes they are asking, oh, if it is 10 lakh, others some are asking 5 lakh rupees will give as a dowry. Sometimes maybe the bridegroom family, they will not accept, they will say that, oh no. Through the bouquets they will say that, no, we expect more than 5 lakhs. So we need 10 lakhs. Sometimes they have their own ideas about the dowry. How much we have to earn from the bride's family. Otherwise, if that was not clear, then they will go for any other girl. They will go for any other bride. And they can change, because that's a bargain also happening in the dowry system. Sometimes they are giving dowry as the money. Sometimes they will give dowry as gold. Other times, sometimes they will give the car. Or some others are, even poor people, they are giving the bike. And some others, even the land also giving as the dowry. According to the religion, maybe from the Hindu religion, sometimes they are giving even the land also as dowry to the bridegroom. And some others are there, actually some are giving the money, and some other, maybe the cultural people, like a group, they are giving the gold. And some are giving the car and bike, land. These all are giving us just like the cash, and also just like the other material. That's very clear, you know about all those things. So, dowry refers as a gift, and also sometimes money, and otherwise they will give the materials. And they are giving these all the things to the from the bride's family to the groom family in the time of the marriage. This is called dowry. The inability of the bride's family to pay dowry often leads to harassment and torture of the bride by the groom family, or sometimes resulting in her death due to murder or suicide. You know that maybe someday maybe the bride's family, if they are unable to give 10 lakhs of rupees, otherwise 5 lakhs of rupees, and they will promise, okay, maybe after 6 months, after one year, we will provide 5 lakh rupees. Now we will give the 5 lakhs, just the time of the marriage. Next 5 lakh we will give you after the 6 months, otherwise the 1 year we will give. And there will be a promise that remain as the promise. And maybe 1 day is going to be over. The bridegroom family, they are in search of the rest of the balance dowry, and they are asking to the bride's family. Even that time also, even the bride's family, they have failed to give the balance of the dowry. Then there will be so many problems. And this will cause to torturing the bride from the bridegroom family. You understand about all those things? Maybe if they promises that they will give the money, others they will give the car, others they will give the gold or money, whatever it may be. These are the examples already mentioned here. They will promise that we will give within 1 year, within 1 month, within 6 months, and time durations are different. And if they are failed to give their promises, then there will be harassment for the bride in the bridegroom house. And because of that, what will happen? And someday resulting in her death due to murder or suicide. And if always harassments are taken place with the bride in the bridegroom house with her own mother and mother-in-law or father-in-law, others with the husband and whoever it may be. Okay, from the bridegroom family, anybody is torturing her and harassing her, and there will be so many problems. Maybe we can understand that will be resulting of, because of the harassment, what will happen? Maybe there will be death may taken place. Some days, maybe the bride murders also taking place. Otherwise, we can see that if suicide also sometimes taking place because of the harassment and due to the dowry promises. So these are the information we are getting from this part. And dowry, you understand, refers as a gift. Gift just like maybe that may be money, maybe the gold, car, bike, land, whatever it may be. And sometimes they are giving the promises. We will give maybe the rest of the money by after the 6 months. There will be a time bound, and the time bound, if they are unable to fulfill their promises, there will be harassment to the bride, and because of that, it causes there will be resulting in her death due to murder or suicide. These are the information we already know, and then also that's mentioned. So there is a problem created in the bridegroom family. There is so many problems. If laws are not there, what will happen? If laws are not there for this or the problem, then what will be happen? You know that we are unable to live in the earth peacefully. So there must be some rules. There must be some rules and regulations, and even Constitution providing everything for every rules for even for this dowry system also, dowry problem also. So we are going to learn all those things by the next class. And now our time is going to be over, and I will explain rest of the parts by the next episode. Now, I just want to wind up my class for today, and this is quite enough for today. So we discussed the constitutions, we discussed about the importance of the laws in our lives. So we understand that's very important. And the case study dowry I explained that refers as a gift. So if rules are and constitutions are not there, there will be so many problems may arise, and people cannot live peacefully in this environment. So let's I'll discuss about the rest of the part in by next episode. Okay, till then, bye. Thank you very much. God bless you all.